What we are lacking the last few years more than the past is a people-to-people interaction. And that type of initiatives and dialogue, when it happened in the past between the West, the rest of the world, of the East, it was what actually continued to have a world prosperity and peace for everyone. Hence, and this was only possible usually, not via state structures, not via Ministry of Foreign Affairs, not via diplomatic missions or development agencies, but rather via people to people. And that takes educational exchanges, it takes culture exchanges, and it takes a lot of unstructured formats, but they all have to exist around the idea of a space for anyone, anywhere, to feel and notice they are not as lonely as they actually might think, and they are not as different also, or unique, as they might think.
I think the Dialogue Institute is a very good example, but if I can also give one example that I work with in my day-to-day. So as part of my organization, the National Council of Swedish Children and Youth Organizations, we have for decades partnered with the youth movements in the MENA region. Right now it's in Lebanon and in Turkey, which is not exactly the MENA region, but close. And what I find every day is that they are teaching us so much of what we could do better as civil society, as a youth movement. I think we can see positive examples also between people-to-people relations in civil society. There's many Swedish civil society organizations that I know and work with that also work in the MENA region or with partners in the MENA region?
I think there's lots of good examples. Throughout the decades, there have been attempts at having dialogue across the Mediterranean and between the Middle East and Europe, and I've taken part in many of them. I think the Swedish Dialogue Institute is a very good example of bringing people together from Europe and the Middle East to have conversations about issues of the day. Good practices are important as well, because you can have a dialogue that doesn't go anywhere and a dialogue that's really structured well. First of all, one good practice is the importance of essentially co-creating the issues and working, an institution from this region, institution from that region, working together to identify the topics. Because when a person joins the dialogue, they need to be able to see something familiar. They need to start off in a comfortable space and then explore the possibilities and go into more difficult topics. A second key aspect is the importance of essentially framing things in an open-ended and exploratory fashion, creating space for kind of a discussion, creating a space for not boxing it in into say, why is this right and this wrong? No. Create a space for an open discussion. That links to the third point, which is also very important, is the importance of trust. The most successful dialogues are dialogues that take place not just once, but over time, because it gives people a chance to build relationships, to better understand the other parties involved, and to develop a kind of a shared space where they feel like comfortable, really sharing what's going on in their own regions, and then exploring solutions together.